just wanted to make a quick video because I was trying to figure this out myself, so I thought it may be useful for you guys, especially if you're working from Gaia and you're trying to get into Unreal. And I'm also going to show you how to get it out into Blender. Go ahead and create a canyon, and this is basically the default node that comes with Gaia 2. And without changing anything, to make this tutorial short, I'll basically go ahead and create two nodes here. One will be Unreal, and you can actually do comma and you can add more stuff, but I'll do that in future tutorials, or you can actually type in multiple things, you know, and it'll give you all those nodes. So that's just one thing that I wanted to show you guys. But in this case, Unreal is what I want. So you can always hit F2 and you can just rename it. And if you basically want to save it, make sure to hit enter, otherwise it won't save. And then you can just double click to hide it. But now that we have that node, we basically, on the right hand side, you can see all the information that's related to it, from naming conventions to the map that you're exporting. This being a PNG, you know, R16 or RAW. So in this case, I am just going to just go to 2K. So I am baking this train now. Okay, let's say you're happy and you're just ready to export it. In this case, all we really have to do is just go to project, and you want to go first to your build settings. You obviously have the 2K res, your terrain, the build, and this is where you would basically assign the file, and you would basically be ready now. And there's obviously additional options here with script. I'm sure Dax and his team may have thought of some Python stuff. So what I'm going to do is either hit execute build, in this case I'm ready, but if you wanted to do it another way, you can also Ctrl Shift B, build and export. So if you're ready, you've already baked it, you can do it that way too. And now you can press any key and close down. Go to edit, plugins. This window will come up, and you want to type in Gaia, and then you want to make sure to install this plugin, Gaia 2 Unreal. So once it's installed, it may ask you to restart, and simply restart your Unreal Engine, and it will reopen with this window, and then you can close it down. Okay, so I already have it installed. So what I'm going to do now is, before you would just go to landscape. Let me show you guys that too. Very simple. You just go to import file, and here's where you would basically click on to get to your terrain Heightmap file. And then you would actually manually here, overall resolution, you would actually match this to that value to make sure that it comes in correct and there's no stretching. But in this case, I don't have to do any of this now, so I can be in my selection mode. But you will see the Gaia 2 icon. So if I click on that, it's going to come up with this window, and you want to make sure to, you can just leave everything as is. So now I have my test file selected, and I'm going to hit import Heightmap. And now I'm going to create this landscape. So now this landscape will basically come in, and it's going to be lower. You can do that too, and I'll just share that real quick. But yes, you would want to select your terrain, and then here in location, you can just set that, because if you do have a large terrain and you're trying to do this with the move tool, you may run into some issues depending on how fast your computer is. But here's that terrain. I mean, this is that simple and easy. And at the moment, I am working on some landscape materials, and I have done some tests, and I will be sharing some more videos this weekend, and hopefully you find this useful. Getting your terrain into Unreal Engine 5 and be able to, you know, play this for yourself, or if you're a game studio, or even if you're like a 3D artist or a new compositor, and you just want to be able to quickly visualize things, or maybe show it to your friends or clients, even at your job. I think this is a great combination of tools. Okay, so let's do the Blender now. First, back to Gaia. So I now want to export this terrain as a mesh. So all I'm going to do is type in measure. Again, all my attributes are on the right hand side. So I'm just going to say obj. I'm not really touching anything here. Level of detail, left it as is. And in this case, I just want to make sure to export it. So of course, we need to hit F3, or you can right click and do the same thing, but you just want to mark for export. Import, and then we select OBJ, import, and now it's basically inside of Blender. Hope this helped. I hope these videos were interesting for you, especially if you're getting into Gaia too. And I think this is a great terrain solution, and I hope you guys will start making your own terrains. Thanks for watching.